All right, this is my 2009 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 Classic LT, as you can see. I bought this bike last year. Of course, this is 2016, so I bought it in the summer of 2015. And I love these classic Kawasaki 2000s ever since I first seen them. I'm a pretty good sized guy. I'm 6'2", about 225 pounds. So motorcycle size doesn't really bother me too much. Matter of fact, everybody I read, they complain about the size of this, but I've owned several Gold Wings, and this is definitely no heavier than they are, maybe a little bit lighter. But one of the things I did not realize is, though they had made these for a number of years, I think they quit in 2010, was I could not find lowers to fit my bike. Now, if I had an aftermarket windshield, then I found where I could get lowers for it. But so I searched all over, and what lowers I could find on eBay, etc., they were basically replacement glass for the existing hardware. And so this bike, when I bought it, it didn't have the lowers. All it had was the, well, I say lowers, I mean wind deflectors. All it had was the factory windshield. And so after a lot of study, and I finally decided that I was going to try to make some homemade wind deflectors for this bike. And so this right here is what you can see what I've done. And what was going to cost me maybe $150 if I could find them, I ended up making these, I think, for about a total price of about $30, $35, something like that. And what I did is I went to Lowe's and I bought some, you can see the thickness. I'll put my hand up there. I bought some of this plexiglass, and I bought it in a sheet. I don't remember how big the sheet was, maybe 2x2 or something like that. But my problem was, how could I mount it? And so I finally decided, I looked, and if you can see this right here is just some aluminum, I guess you could call it an L piece that you could buy at Lowe's. I cut it down, and I took off on this bike, the factory hardware's got you can see the outline, I think, if I can get close enough, where it's got, on the factory, it's got a chrome piece that goes down. So I took that off and I replaced it with this. And so I mounted it on this, and I continued it on down. I don't know how well you can see this, but I continued it on down using the existing bolts on the bike and let it come down so far. And then I used that, and then I began to put on this plexiglass. Now what I did is, if I lower this windshield, I've got this windshield raised right now for my wife, but if I lower this windshield down, you'll find that the curvature right here actually parallels my windshield on the bike. And so that was because I was trying to figure out how in the world can I make it. And the reason for that is, if you go over here, I've got it designed to where when I've got, of course, I have my fork or my crash bar. So I have it designed to where that it can miss this about a finger width. So it doesn't hit my crash bar. But that's what I did. Now I've got some chrome covers to put over top of this. I just haven't put them on yet, but you got some chrome caps that you can buy that pops right over that, makes a good finished look. One other thing that I found out real quick is I cut this by jigsaw, and then after I cut it by jigsaw, well, then I went ahead and I took real super fine, I can't remember the grit of the sandpaper, but it's a really fine sandpaper, and I sand this down, and that's all that I did. And it made for a good, let me pull this back open. made for a pretty good finish. One, and I don't know if you can see this right here. There's a little bit of a burr right here in that plexiglass. And one of the things I found out real quick is don't cut the plexiglass too fast. That's what I did, and my jigsaw was actually melting and refusing the piece back together. So once I figured that, this was my first one I made. I've got enough to go back and redo it, but to be honest, it's just not even noticeable enough for me to even worry about it. And I cut this one. I took my time with the jigsaw and let it cut slow, and it done real well. So I hope that this is a help for anybody that may have one of these and wanting to put some wind deflectors on it. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave a comment on my video on YouTube. All right, and while I got you on here, fire the old girl up. So there she is, my 2009 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000cc Classic LT. And I don't know if you can hear me. I'm hoping you can. I've been out here cleaning it up. It's October day in southern Kentucky. And I hope you guys have a good one. I'm going to try to take another ride before winter sets in. So hope this helped. Bye.